1, 2.
Welcome to the Relatively Jumbo podcast. I am joined by my esteemed colleagues, Devin and Steve. Follow us on Twitter. The Twitter's great. Media Man Dan crushing it at
Yes, he is.
Jumbo Podcast. Instagram, Jumbo Podcast. Check us out on YouTube to where we've got the video posts for the wrap-up videos after the episodes. And also hijinks coming up. Were you going to say something?
We got to have Dan call Devin to teach him how to put the polls up on Facebook. He gets the polls up on Twitter pretty easily with the graphics. Now, I don't know how to get it on Facebook, though. So I think Dan
You
might
can't
know.
do it on Facebook.
Could you just let Dan figure it out? I mean, I don't think
Just
you
let
know
Dan
that
try
well.
it.
I know. I don't think I trust Dan over what you think it is.
Like, I get it. You probably have more Twitter and Instagram followers, but on Facebook, you lose that poll. You lose that poll 10 times out of 10.
That's not your ground.
See, this is what it's really about. It's really about you being mad that you lost. And I'm sorry that you lost.
No, I'm not
But that
mad.
doesn't change the fact.
None of my fans are on Twitter or Instagram. They're just Facebook followers.
Friendster.
You think
They're
the people on
Friendster.
you think the people on Facebook like you?
No, yeah, that's a good point.
I know.
They love
I
me.
know that's a good
You
point.
put this
I'm a
poll
Facebook
on
god.
farmersonly.com, and I think Devin comes out on top. That's all I'm saying.
He's big in the agricultural world. I will give him that.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. But also, people, tell your friends to listen, and then post on our Twitter or Instagram and tell us what friend that you told, and we'll shout them out and yell bad stuff about them on the podcast.
Yeah, we'll talk shit about them for like an hour and a half.
So I can roast their ass.
Yeah. Just don't preface it with anything. Just reach out to us on social media and give a name, and then we'll roast that name. Couple of things just breaking is, so first when I saw Trevor Bauer was wearing or going to wear free Joe Kelly cleats, and the MLB stepped in and they're like, listen, buddy, if you wear those cleats, A, you're going to get fined, and B, we told the umps to eject you immediately.
This story, I don't know who I like in it because, yeah, MLB's no fun, but Trevor Bauer is also just kind of a loser. Just, chill the fuck out. He's not even on your team. Like, he's not even like a part of anything to do with you. It's really just kind of trolling in an obnoxious way. And yeah, you know what? The MLB protects its cheaters until Congress, calls them to the stand. They're gonna protect their winners and the people that cheat. So it's not a surprise on their part doing this.
I need to see Jose Altuve up in front of Congress pretending that he doesn't know English.
I need to see Jose Altuve hit a fucking baseball because he's on my fantasy team and he fucking sucks.
Dude, he's hitting like 180.
You'd think he'd be a little bit better. Oh, you forget how much harder baseball is when you don't know what's coming.
He's
Pretty
also
wild.
completely rattled. Like, I seen him, he made 3 errors in 1 inning once. He tried to bunt for a hit and the ball bounced up and hit his bat again, immediately called out. Like, it's bad. Dusty Baker gave him a day off just for mental health. Like, he's not used to being hated. Everybody just loved, hey, he hits 340 and he's really short. I love that guy. But now that he's the villain, he's not handling it well.
Not at all.
I like
Far
the
from
idea that at any job you're just not doing well. They're like, you know what? Take the day off for mental health. Like, you can only get away with that in baseball.
Hey, that's you just gotta say the line that we're paying their salaries with our tax dollars, so there shouldn't be any days off.
Like, you couldn't be a pilot and be like, you know what? You haven't been landing the planes that well lately. Why don't you take a mental day?
Which is kind of messed up because you probably should. I mean, there's a lot more on the line there.
You probably should be able to send those guys. Yeah.
What are you talking about? Harrison Ford gets a mental day after he crashes his plane all the time. He's done that like 4 or 5 times, hasn't he?
His mental day is the day he crashes his plane, which is apparently like once a month.
I love how that's like an infamous thing in Hollywood. It's like, mini jet just crashed. Personal flyer is probably Harrison Ford. Probably landing at an airport that no one thought that this plane was going to land in for some reason.
Yeah, he took a one-seater plane and just crashed it into some dude's corn farm. Like, come on, Harrison, pick a different hobby. This one you're not good at. I'm sorry.
Landed at LAX, just right in the middle of the main terminal, just going on the United terminal. It's like, all right, I'll park it here today.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys too that when you point out to him that he's wrong, he just kind of mumbles something borderline like very offensive under his breath.
Old man prick, like the people that just don't have anything to live for anymore, so they're just pricks to everybody they talk to.
Correct. That's Harrison Ford. But back to Trevor Bauer.
Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a hardo move because it's not your teammate. But like Trevor Bauer's big. He's just kind of an instigator. He's stirring the pot, which I appreciate.
Yeah, that's his whole thing.
Because like baseball kind of needs that, and it's not like he's just some shitty back of the rotation guy. That's like your one or two guy in the rotation, and he's also mixing it up. He's talking shit to Scott Boras on Twitter. Like he's kind of a douche, but I can also kind of appreciate the personality.
I feel like Scott. I'm sorry, and I don't like to back these millionaires up. I just don't think Scott Boras has the time of day to deal with someone so minimal in his life than Trevor Bauer, a guy that's not his client. That's why he's the best. All he cares about are the people who are his clients. He doesn't hear news about anybody else that he isn't a part of.
I don't know. I mean, if you ask Trevor Bauer, Scott Boras has his clients reaching out to Trevor Bauer on Scott Boras's behalf.
No.
So, I mean, Scott Boras says he doesn't pay attention. I guess it depends on who you believe in that situation.
Trevor Bauer is also the guy that wrecked his finger on a drone during a World Series run. So I mean, this guy is kind of just a fucking idiot. So I don't believe him until he gives me receipts. Trevor Bauer, you might be on the shit list if you don't give receipts out on this shit. That's all I'm saying.
One wrong move and you're on the beef list, buddy.
I keep calling it the shit list. Why? What is wrong with me? Beef list. I'm sorry, Beefaroo. I am sorry.
The Beefaroo shit list.
I'm sorry, Beefaroo. And this is also going to be the ad read for it. I'm sorry, Beefaroo. I'm sorry to all 12 of your, actually 13 of your Northwest Illinois locations. I'm sorry to your roast beef and cheddar sandwiches, and I'm sorry for your jalapeno poppers. Do they have jalapeno poppers? They might be a seasonal thing.
I haven't seen them there, but it could be on like the secret menu.
Let's make a deal, and then we'll tell them we want. This is going to be our signature thing, the relatively jumbo poppers. So we'll get some big jalapenos, and let's go. That's a deal.
They're really small poppers.
Yeah, they're probably going to be very small, but we're going to hope for the biggest ones. And Beefaroo, sorry for keep calling you a shit list. It's a beef list here, and go to Beefaroo if you're in Rockford.
Nobody's in Rockford.
It's the third largest city in Illinois. What are you talking about, Nick?
Could be the second. I could have got that wrong.
Humble brag.
Could have got that wrong.
That's like.
I think Peoria is number 2, right?
No, I think Schaumburg is.
Fuck, I don't know.
Naperville.
Well, Naperville is bigger. You don't count the suburbs though, because they count that towards the Chicago metropolitan population.
Yeah, dumbass.
Devin, are you looking it up?
No, I'm doing a fantasy draft.
Don't call me a dumbass.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm trying to get my work in now.
Who you drafting?
Fantasy draft for what sport? Football?
Yeah, football. All the other
cricket.
I don't care about the other one.
This is way too early to do a football draft. All of your players are going to tear their knee.
I have a draft on Saturday. I have a draft coming up on Saturday.
How many drafts are you going to be in, dude? That's too much work.
Just 2.
Dude.
Just 2 drafts. But one I pay like borderline too much money for, so I got to kind of figure this shit out before Saturday.
What about ours?
I don't care.
So you're out of ours.
Was the buy-in like $5 and a 6-pack? If I lose that one, I'm not losing any sleep.
Well, I mean, what are you putting a mortgage out on some of these leagues, you weirdo? Jeez, just go to a casino.
It's a lot, dude. It's a lot.
Well, what's a lot?
Maybe I
what's
should.
A lot?
I want to say it's like $270 with
it made it sound like it's like $500, $1,000.
$270,000 isn't a lot for you?
Chump
Man,
change.
fucking baller.
That's like the jerk where he's at the bank with the $200,000 check. He's like 200 big ones. He thinks it's $200. Like I want to cash this
$200
check. Best
That's
Steve
one of the
Martin
all-time
movie.
classic movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
best Steve Martin movie in my opinion.
yeah, I agree. Better than what's the one where he has all those kids?
Oh yeah,
Is that Cheaper by the Dozen?
Heaven? No, I'm kidding.
When Steve Martin just can't stop fucking, he's got 12 kids.
That's like an older version of him. I like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles too. Him and John
That
Candy.
one's up
That's a
there
great
too.
one too.
Yeah, that one's good too.
What about what was it? My Blue Heaven?
Where he just like tips everybody like a shit ton of money.
So essentially, it's supposed to be the comedy sequel to Goodfellas. So when Henry Hill moves or gets into witness protection, then it's that. I only remember bits and pieces of that.
Him and Rick Moranis, Canadian treasure, Rick Moranis.
Yeah, the God.
Very, very much a god.
Oh, another thing that just happened like 20 minutes ago. Tom Brenneman, announcer for the Reds, dropped probably the world's hardest F
Yeah.
that I've ever heard. Like with enthusiasm. He said it with his chest. Got caught on a hot mic.
Not fuck, guys.
And then
We're not saying fuck either. It's a different one.
Not fuck. If you think it's fuck, you're wrong.
So it was hot mic. I think it was like right as the game was starting. And then he started doing the game. And then he apologized. And then they pulled him like halfway through the game.
Everybody's saying dumb shit. So what's worse, him saying that or Mark Gray saying dingbat?
Oh, it's him saying that by 12,000. What are you talking
You
about?
sure it's not Mark Gray calling his ex-wife a dingbat? You're saying that's not worse?
I mean, Mark Race is not good in the booth. Like, I don't care why he gets taken down off that. Just like anyways, fine. I mean, it was
Mark Grace is just dumber. He's dumber because he literally says it while he knows he's on live television, just talking shit about his ex-wife, calling her a fucking idiot on television. Doesn't he read the news? He's already bad enough. He's already bad enough as is. People hate his guts on this shit, and he's gonna say this. Like, good lord, no one wants to hear it.
The jury is still out on who's done worse so far.
No, I think the guy that says the
jury's out.
Slander at the gay community is definitely the guy I think is the worst. And he said it off camera, and in the classic Tom Brenneman fashion, he's probably like, "And welcome back to Reds baseball. I'd like to clear the air about a little mic drop that happened, and I'd like to apologize to all Cincinnati fans. Now up Eugenio Suarez. Oh, what do you say? You need me to see upstairs? Okay, I'll pass the mic over and over."
What an idiot.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it went. That sounds right.
Dude. End it.
Yeah, they didn't. Well, that's you're in a precarious situation if you're like the producer of the show, because like you got to pull them, right? You have to pull them. But then what do you do for the rest of the game? Well, you just got one guy in there.
One man bandit.
And then he's just sitting there with his palms sweating because he was not prepared for that. Or you you get somebody as a backup and they don't know. Like, that'd be an interesting game to just go back and listen to the second half.
That would be a lot of fun.
It's
the
just
one-man broadcast. It's
a rough look. Tom Brenneman hasn't looked good, I don't think, ever in his career. So this is definitely not a good look for him. He's already obnoxious as is. So I don't care if he's gone forever, but he's pretty. Doesn't he do like Fox NFL Sundays too? Like, he's fairly big. Like, this is gonna be a big problem for him. He's done. He's canceled.
He's super fired. He's definitely fired.
He's definitely from the Reds. I don't know. The NFL, they're like, oh, we don't care that much. No, I'm kidding.
They're like, we'll give it 3 weeks, let it blow over.
That seems like a tough job. Could you do commentary on every baseball game? Like 3 hours and just talk baseball stories the whole time?
Well, he's doing the announcing, not the color, right?
Yeah, he's the announcer.
How do you slip it in if you're just doing the play-by-play?
Because he's trying to do it off Matt. He did it off mic. He didn't turn off his mouth.
They were like, there was like some other conversation going on. I don't know. I'm curious. I want to know like what country he was talking about.
No, he's talking about St. Louis, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
we should get him on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, no, don't go aligning with homophobes.
I didn't
I
say
think
I was on his side. I'm just saying we should get him on the show.
You want him to explain his piece, you're saying?
Don't be putting things in my mouth, words in my mouth.
because you said the reason you want him on is because we have a mutual beef with St. Louis, which means that you're on his side about that, which insinuates that you're on his side about the other thing.
I didn't say I agree with what he said. I just say I don't like St. Louis.
Oh, Jesus. You're towing a very fine line. You're towing a floss-like line.
He can do an official apology for what he said, and then the second half of the interview is we dig deep into why he doesn't like St. Louis.
I think kind of what you were saying before we started recording, Devin, like what was the reaction from everybody else once he said that? Like, did everybody else know that the mic was on and they just turned stark
It's
white?
Cincinnati, so I don't expect much.
Yeah.
God damn, we are running up a list
Come on,
of
the beef.
a laundry
Come on,
list of
fucking
enemies.
list.
Crew shit list is growing long and wide.
All you need to do is eat at Skyline Chilling. You'll automatically be on your own shit list. Put that list up there.
My hard drive can't fit all of these names on the beef list.
I had to buy a second computer.
That's why you need a pen and paper.
I won't do that. Speaking of people that shit themselves, how about the Bucks and Heat? Both losing game
The
one.
Lakers. The fuck?
Or sorry, not the Heat. That's what I meant. Every
Oh.
time, I don't know. I still got the
Trauma.
Heat. Well, yeah,
You're still on that shit.
No.
Like 9 years ago. He's been on another team before that shit, dude. You got nightmares still?
Listen.
That was 8 to 10 years ago, bro.
Well, listen, that was when D Rose was in his prime. I still got nightmares. I meant to put Lakers. I put Heat because of LeBron James 2 teams ago. You understand?
I guess.
Just say you understand.
I love
Fuck off. Yeah.
LeBron is gonna try to do so much. And he can do all he can do. It's the same story. If you don't have the role players that are doing anything for you, you might have problems. Danny Green's got to make shots like that. That's his job.
Danny Green was 2 for 8, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope played, I think, 31 minutes, and he had 1 point.
I don't get how he's got that much minutes on that team. Is he that decent of a bench guy, or is it just like they're not that?
Well, what
deep?
I don't understand is that this is LeBron's problem for pretty much his whole career is whatever team he's on lets him play GM, and he doesn't make he's not making $45-50 million. They have, and he gets to be the GM and he gets praised for that, and then he always has these super shallow teams where they just don't have depth, and then they got like a ragtag group of individuals, whether it's like J.R. Smith or you're bringing like Dwight Howard in, even though he's been good, like people hate him. You've got Danny Green, who like sometimes will shoot 8 for 8 from 3, and sometimes he'll go 0 for 30. Like if you're gonna give him all this power every single year and keep seeing the same thing, at what point does that change?
Well, he's not taking a pay cut, so it's never gonna change.
Well, how much is he making? There's plenty of people I'm sure that are making more than him on better teams, or I guess more deep team.
Definitely over $100 million. And look at it, Anthony Davis. He's making a fuckload of money.
Well,
too.
Per year. You're always talking like total contract. What matters?
Yeah,
is
you gotta do year by year.
I'm not looking it up right now. Wait, let me look
it up. Just look it up.
I'm going.
Also, are the Bucks bad? Because they lost by 12 to the Magic, and they weren't winning at any point in that game.
Maybe that girl who helped out the Suns can make her way over the Bucks.
Save it, please.
They need blowjob lady. Get the Bucks train going.
Are we talking about it right now?
Yeah, might as well.
I think that's a pretty good segue. I think that's solid.
Yeah.
LeBron gets $38 million per year, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, John Wall's making 45.
I mean, that's the worst
he didn't even
contract
play
in history.
We'll see when he comes back, but yeah, probably.
And how much is Anthony Davis getting per year? Wait, sorry, $25 million. So that's about half of their salary, probably. All right.
Anthony Davis should be making $40 million.
He will
a year.
his next contract.
But aren't basketball contracts weird? Can't you give out more money if it's like the exemptions, like mid-level exemptions if people have been in the league for a long time. I feel like there's creative ways to sign older guys to the team for cheaper money.
Yeah.
There is that. The salaries a lot of what they do is to try and incentivize small market teams to keep stars. So it's not just like the same. It's not like the Lakers, I guess, being really good and the Celtics, but like Miami, they never have, like, everybody likes Miami, everybody likes Atlanta, everybody likes New York. Like, for the most part, those teams aren't always like the top contenders. Like, Miami is good. They're like a 4 or 5
They're
seed,
good.
and then they'll
Yeah.
lose in the second round. But like, you would think Miami would be better outside of the years they had LeBron James. Well, they
You would
did
think.
also
I
have
mean, they were
Shaq
good.
and Dwayne
They were
Wade.
good before.
Moving on to blowjob lady. What a story to tell and just be that casual about it.
Yeah. What's her end game? Like,
That's it. Just to
Fuck.
go on a radio show and get a lot of followers and just do some fucking and sucking.
are you gonna follow her?
No. It's not really my speed.
You're not gonna follow her?
No.
You don't like basketball, or
I like basketball. I like basketball almost as much as she likes basketball players, but I'm not following her.
it's such an awkward situation.
The two girls
Whose baby is that?
that were on the podcast, they met they met through a threesome themselves. So I like that backstory of how those two met each other. Just a normal way to meet somebody, just really just kind of that's
Mhm.
typical. If you don't meet them at a networking event brought on by like a group, then the next way to do it is through that. So that's the connections of 2020. But my interest now that we're learning about it, first of all, it was the Phoenix Suns. 7, that she literally sucked off 7 people in the same room. First of all, I'm glad the Suns are, getting safe and getting enough people in there to officially call it an orgy. So they didn't have to cut it down where there's like a 3 to 2 people in there, or 4, or in my opinion, if there was 4 people, it wouldn't be it. So
We've been
they
over
went
this.
over.
An orgy is just more than 3 people. We've
No,
had this conversation.
and I think it's still more than 4.
Well, the difference here is it seems like she just went down a line one at a time. And that's not an orgy.
It's gangbang style.
Well, also, obviously Devin Booker goes first because he's the star of the team, but like
Yeah,
Great name.
you gotta be like, all these guys are looking across at each other like, fuck, am I 7th? It looks like I'm 7th. I hope I'm not 7th.
let's go through the roster and pick the 7 that I think are a part of it. I already got one in mind. Former Bull himself, Cameron Payne, definitely sneaking around over there and getting a part of this action at some point. I definitely could see that as a definite possibility.
If Campaign was in it, he's definitely last.
He's very good on defense. Maybe he stole a spot earlier in the line.
Yeah, but he always fails to score.
Scraps.
So
He's getting scraps.
That was what she said about him. Yeah, he was very scrappy when I got to the 7th guy.
I'm saying definitely Frank Kaminsky.
Yeah, I'm thinking that there's got to be one. There's got to be one. You know what I mean?
I mean, Kelly Oubre was definitely in there, right?
Maybe. It's a possibility.
Mikal Bridges.
DeAndre Ayton, probably.
That whole situation is wild to me. Like, the comfortability level you have to have with your teammates, weird. It's weird.
Weird.
I'm out. If I'm not like first or second, I think I'm out.
You're still doing it if you're second? You're still doing it if you're first? You're all in the same room.
The question is, I mean, you're in the room, right?
Okay.
I mean, if you get the option, you're taking leaving. But in this theory, leaving's not one of the options.
Whoa!
Unless you're after second.
She's forcing you at gunpoint to line up?
Yeah, there's a gun to your head. It's a robbery. She's stealing something from you.
Okay.
That thang. She's stealing that thang from you. What are you gonna do?
That police report must be wild. Excuse me, officer. I'd like to report a crime. She lined us all up. She sucked our dicks.
This bitch
And then
stole
we were
from
free to
me.
leave. And we were free to leave.
Because
And
if
where
you're
were you, sir? We were in the bubble. The bubble is not safe.
If
I-
you if an emergency happens and you call the cops, like, do you have cops that are just there? Do you have quarantined cops that just work in the bubble, or do you let outside cops in?
It's got to be quarantine cops, right?
it's the Disney characters. They're undercovers on the campus. Chip and Dale. They're going around bouncing into a gangbang.
Just Mickey Mouse running around with a 9mm.
What's going on here?
Oh, looks like Kelly Oubre's getting his dick sucked, huh?
Oh shit! Now we're gonna get dude. We can't be making fun of Disney people.
No,
That's
they'll
not
fucking
good.
cancel us
That's really
quick.
not good.
Quick.
Hey, I didn't say that. That wasn't me.
It looks like Devin Booker's getting a heel.
Oh, god damn it.
Maybe it was some kind of like supernatural ritual, and then that's why they can't lose basketball.
Well,
games.
they went in. No, they deserved it. The team deserved it. They got some. If they didn't make the playoffs, at least they got that. They're going home
So it should have been
anyway.
8 guys then. For every win you get in a row, you should be able to add one more guy to the end of the
What?
line.
Those back 12-4, the 4 in the back were probably pissed. They're like, why are we even here? We're not even going to get any of this topic.
You imagine being the 6th guy in line and you lose at game 5. Like, fuck, guys, I could have been in the room.
Yeah, do you think the plan was to do all 12 and then she just got like cramps or something?
She's like, I'm tired. She's like Forrest Gump when he's jogging. He just stops in the middle of nowhere. I'm tired.
You think that 8th guy is just standing there like, what the fuck, man?
He's got his pants at his ankles, but like his shirt's still on.
I imagine they all have to stay till they're all done and their pants are down the whole time.
They're all
Nobody's allowed to leave until she's done.
They're just all sitting around the bed in like a U shape.
And I like, I watched that interview, and this chick is like so, like just so
Nonchalant.
She's like, I'm very shy. I feel very shy. She's very shy right now. Her friend's saying, and then she goes on to talk about how she sucked 7 dicks in a row in the bubble, like and on public podcasting. Very shy of her.
Also, if you're like Devin Booker or you're like the second or third guy, when you're done, do you leave or do you like hang out and go play Xbox? Like, what do
If
you
I'm
do?
Devin Booker, I do whatever I want. I'm done. I'm like, let these freaks go at it. I don't give a shit. I'm done.
You're a bad teammate.
Well, they're a bad team, so he's can't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, it's a good point.
He's done.
It's a good point.
He's getting his, and he's leaving, just like in the game and in life, baby.
27, 7, and 6, and I'm out. We'll lose by 30. I don't give a fuck.
Devin, let me guess who you're drafting. Jason Witten.
Oh, I did. I finished the draft.
That was quick.
I don't think I did good though. This is why I'm practicing.
Tell us your roster. Wait, is this
Okay,
this isn't a real draft right now?
I did a mock draft.
Oh God!
Are you serious?
You're not even focused on us for a mock draft? Get the fuck out!
You guys never listen to me. I said my draft is on Saturday. I gotta get practice in now.
Yeah, but you're not even like
Computer. I'm on my computer already.
you're not even looking at me. You're just you're scrolling through your mock draft. Who you mocking with?
Look, I've had more participation so far in this episode than most of the other ones, and I'm doing
Yeah.
all right.
Very true. Once we talk about gangbangs, Devin's ears perk up like some sort of a bunny rabbit.
You nailed that. You nailed that metaphor.
Proud of you.
Nailed that. That was good.
Super proud of you for that.
Yeah, you're just like a bunny rabbit. I've said that
Yeah.
about you a lot.
My ears have been perked up. much like a bunny rabbits would.
I'll tell you, if they got any hotel footage of that event, one person that definitely would try to watch that is James Brown. That's definitely some sort of action right around his alley.
And then he would tweet about it.
Yeah, he's like, "Whoops, someone
Whoops.
hacked my account. Sorry, I meant to send out this one."
Wild times.
Speaking of somebody else smashing balls, Fernando Tatis Jr.
Oh,
Big story past couple days.
I don't
surprised,
understand why people get so butthurt about everything.
because baseball's
Let me give you the rundown for those of you who are not paying attention.
Devin.
Fernando Tatis Jr., son of Fernando Tatis, plays for the Padres. Young stud.
Former
They're
White
playing the
Sox.
Texas Rangers. They're up 7 at the time. I forget what the actual score was.
Oh,
Bases
they're beating their
loaded.
asses.
He gets
Is
a
it eating?
3-0 count.
Oh, it's like a later innings. I mean, it's done. They're scoring again. Like they're about to score more.
So it's 3-0 count. Pitcher throws him a fastball, lower half outside, and he just drills it opposite field for a grand slam. And everybody is then upset that Fernando Tatis swung at a 3-0 pitch in a game that's not over. And then a new pitcher comes in, and Manny Machado is the next batter up. And this new pitcher throws a fastball behind Manny Machado.
It's funny.
So
Not that funny.
the game ends, and they talk to the Rangers manager, and he's mad that Tatis Jr. swung on a 3-0 pitch, talking about, blah, 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 unwritten rules. You're already up 7. The messed up part, and the part that I think is the bigger story, is Fernando Tatis's manager goes up there and says that he's disappointed in the decision that Tatis made. Doesn't back his guy.
They made him apologize too.
Yeah, and then
terrible.
Tatis goes up there, gives an apology that he doesn't believe, and he never should have had to do in the first place. And then Tatis's manager actually worked with the Rangers the season prior for 3 or 4 years. So there's connection there. And then he tries to backtrack and say, I wasn't mad that he hit a grand slam and ran the score up. I was mad that he didn't follow the signs.
I hope that he fucking leaves
Get
there.
real.
I hope he leaves there once he gets his contract money. Some big team signs his ass. San Diego doesn't deserve a talent like that. That's how they're going to treat his ass when he's hitting bombs every night.
The San Diego Fathers you're out on?
Well, no, I'm very much in
What?
on them this year.
I think the big issue is the manager. I don't see how he can continue to be the manager of that team if he's not backing his guys, if he's throwing his star player under
one of the
bus
best guys
to the
in
media.
baseball.
Yeah.
Whatever that guy does, you back him on. He's the best.
Yeah. I don't care.
I've never heard anybody not back somebody on a terrible grand slam. You brought too many people in right now. That's awful.
Here's an unwritten rule in all sports. If you suck and somebody else is better than you, it's your fault because you suck. You should apologize for throwing that ball over the plate. I'm sorry I threw the ball that made us suck worse.
Here's a written rule for the Rangers, coach. If your team sucks, you're going to get fired soon. So figure that shit out. Fuck the unwritten rules. Look at the written ones. You need some help with that.
Dude, I don't care if Tatis kept the bat with him as he rounded the bases, and then as he got to home, just took a whack right at the catcher. If you're his manager, you got to have his back 100%, and you got to tell those other guys to go fuck themselves.
You know who would have him?
What? Who?
Dusty.
Oh God, dude, Dusty. If he saw this, he'd have a heart attack.
Yeah. He's like, don't ever call out my guys. I do it. He's basically Dusty. Reminds me of Michael Corleone. It's like you straighten out my brother. Only I straighten out my brother.
That's the way to be.
I get a lot of Corleone vibes from Dusty.
That's what I thought every time.
But it's just dumb. It's just dumb that this fucking manager, who is he? Like the unwritten rules supervisor, My team must win in the right fashion. Like, fuck you, dude. Honestly.
Aren't all baseball contracts too based on incentives for statistics? Like,
Yeah.
why
Well,
Well,
does
especially somebody is still on their rookie deal. Like you're playing for your first contract. Like this, obviously, he's making better money than the average person. But
right?
like this isn't the contract where you're like his next contract is going to set up him and the next 5 generations of their
I'm just saying,
family.
like, sports in general aren't a lot of contracts incentive based. Like, why wouldn't you? Anybody who's like, I don't play for stats. Yeah, but the better your stats are, the more money you get paid. And I'm pretty sure you're
it's
playing
funny.
professional sports to make money.
Exactly.
It's funny you bring that up, Devin. There's a lot of receipts after this, the fallout of this. A lot of receipts from the Rangers last year. I don't know if it was Lance Lynn or somebody else in their rotation. End of the year, last game, his last start, last inning, he was close to 200 strikeouts. There was an incentive for that. This is for the Rangers again, which
Yeah,
is important about it. And there was a pop up out of play, and they uh, took the fall and uh, on purpose dropped it so he got a chance to go after those 200 strikeouts. So that is one example of them going after stats and really kind of unwritten rule kind of horse shit. Like try to like that's an unwritten rule. Technically, you don't just you take the out right there or some shit like that. So I mean they're big hypocrites. It's bullshit. Your team's getting routed because your team sucks. And yeah, they're just really bitter right now, and it's embarrassing for this.
Also, somebody else tweeted that the Padres last year won a game when they were down by 10, and they also lost the game when they were up by 7.
It
So,
just
like, the fact that they were up by 7 at this point means
yeah. Who
absolutely nothing
cares?
because
Yeah,
baseball is not timed. You could put up 7 runs in an inning. Like, you score as many runs as you possibly can
it
until
makes
the
my
game is over.
it makes my blood boil when this dumb shit happens. It happens like 4 or 5 times a year, and it's the worst shit ever. And
isn't Tatis Sr. the only guy in baseball to hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning?
yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir. One
So,
of the
like,
craziest
just
things
throw
in the
that
world.
out there. Well, one time my dad hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning, so we figured we needed more runs. Sorry about that.
He's unbelievable, man.
Dude, nothing makes me more mad than baseball unwritten rules. The only thing I will say is a lot of people 98% of the people that are on social media are saying that all of these people are backers of unwritten rules. There's only a handful of people that are still this crotchety old unwritten rules
That's what
type
I'm
of
saying. Yeah.
person. The only problem is that the majority of them are currently still in professional baseball. Their coaches, their managers, their announcers, like those are the people that are still hanging on to these dumbass.
Tom Brenneman. He's definitely one of those guys.
Well, I mean, he's no longer going to be a problem, but everybody else is these people that are hanging on to this old guard that's just dumb and not it's not analytically based. Like there's a reason that people don't bunt anymore, right? There's a reason that you should swing at 3-0 because at 3-0 that's the best
You're getting a
opportunity for
yeah.
you to get a fastball. Like, okay, let's say he takes 3-0, okay, throws a fastball, now it's 3-1. Now, like, that's the best pitch you were going to see. If you could guarantee he's going to throw you a fastball on 3-2, then sure, but he's not. He's going to throw a breaking ball or something at 3-2 or 3-1, and you're going to foul it off. And then,
It
like,
just frustrates me, man.
it's just dumb.
It's
Why wouldn't you
be
3 and
better.
0? I'm swinging for the
Yeah.
fences
Just be better,
Well, it
dude.
used to be
because you have the opportunity to get the fourth ball. Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, it's like it's a big faux pas to make an out on 3-0. But like
That's
that's
the best pitch you're gonna see.
statistically it's fucking stupid.
Hey,
Yeah,
speaking of
exactly.
home runs, guys, Jose Abreu just hit a go-ahead home run in the bottom of the eighth. So sorry for the emotions,
Woo!
but it's pretty
Also, I
exciting.
I love the tradition now they have where Luis Robert just runs in front of people and catches it. Did you see that play in front of Eloy?
Yeah.
Where
Dude,
Eloy
that
just
was
like
so
doesn't even
funny.
move. Yeah.
Hey, I'd rather have him catch the ball than Eloy attempt to do it and then find a way to just run into the stand into a net. That's his trademark move. Just running into the net, giving up an inside the park home run, and just sit. He just sits there. He's like, "What's going on?"
Eloy was probably so grateful that he came over.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, thank God, I didn't have to try and defend this can of corn."
He's so grateful that nets are much longer now. He'd be on his ass into the stands most every play. So he's
I
thankful
think
for the
Luis
weather.
has been watching our kickball game because that's exactly what we have. At least 2 gentlemen on the team. They just run in front of people to catch everything, like no matter where it's kicked.
I hope you're calling me one of them.
You're one of them. Yeah, you're one of them.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I think he's been watching the film of our games because most of the time, if a ball is kicked, somebody's running in front of somebody else to catch it, going from
It's
left field
probably
to
for the
first
better.
base. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny. I just like he just stood there. It makes me happy. He didn't even try.
Yeah, and then he gave him that little stare, like,
Good look.
"You
Yeah.
fucker," but also good looking. Thank you.
Thank you for doing
Yeah.
that.
Shit. If I could be an outfielder in the MLB if I was on his team. I just stand there the
Yeah.
whole time. Get
I
a
could have made
paycheck.
that play.
If I'm Eloy, though, I would much rather make that play because then that would balance out my fielding percentage.
True.
Yeah.
Like, let me get
Incentives.
those. You go get the tough one. I don't know. Did we talk about this? Hawks lose.
No, we didn't. Didn't want to fucking talk about it. That's why.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
I know.
I was having a good day till right now.
Where are you?
No.
Fuck. Very candid right there. Right there was a real
Oh.
moment. You sound like you had a bad day.
The old gentleman's
Yeah,
sweep.
the
4-1.
better team won. Clearly, Vegas is the better team.
Yeah.
Defense is
sick.
just god awful right now.
If we
for
had
the Hawks.
Lerner, we'd probably be sick. No, I'm kidding. Crawford was I give Crawford a lot of credit. He did as much as he humanly
He
can.
the one game they won, he won it by himself. Nobody else helped him that day.
I mean, they
So-
could. I could have easily argued that
Correct.
they should have been 2-2 going into that game.
They
last
should have won the
night.
game in overtime for sure.
Yeah.
They hit a record like in the first 4 games, 12 posts, which
no
was
puck luck.
6 more than the next closest team.
No puck luck whatsoever, and that's just a buzzkill right there. Honestly.
I mean, the young talent's good. They'll get better. I don't know if Colton's the right coach.
Yeah, he's got to go. Did you see the video of Kane and Tays, last guys leaving off the ice, and they gave everybody a handshake outside of the coaching staff, and it's very telling.
Makes sense to me. Checks out.
I mean, it sucks because you only have you got a tight window now where the old guys are still good and the young guys need to figure it out to where they're like both playing well. You only got a couple of years of that.
Kirby's going to be good. DeBrinket's still good. Strome, you could probably get rid of and free up some cap space.
They need to get some defenders.
Kubalik's good.
The
other guy they signed from Europe's really good.
They need to figure out the market for defenders. Oh my God. Encarnacion.
Don't say anything about it. No, let's keep moving. Don't say anything about it. Let's keep moving.
No, I think that they need.
You're not paying attention, so just tell us what happened.
They need defenders.
Yeah, what happened?
Encarnacion hit another homer. 2 homers today.
Yeah, 2 homers.
But it's true. I mean, their defense looked atrocious.
They're
Even
shit.
if their forwards had any attempts, they got better as the games went on. Their forwards of getting more shots on goal, but they didn't have any possession because the defense couldn't get it out of their own zone. They couldn't clear it out of there, and they don't have enough depth to take on a team like that, and they need that.
So now I'm an Avs fan for the rest of the playoffs. They're clearly the best team in the NHL, and that was that's my 1B team for hockey.
They were
Avs 1B
pounding the Coyotes. They were up 6-0 in like the first. Was it first period or second period today?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yotes don't look good.
They're good. They're really good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be whoever wins between them and Vegas. I think is gonna win it this year.
Yeah.
Vegas is so sick just because their depth is insane. Like the worst player on the team is like a third liner anywhere else.
The way that they set teams up during the expansion drafts too in hockey is like ridiculous. Because even if you suck for the first couple of years, you get so many first round picks. Like the better you do in the first 2 years is probably worse for your team because you draft later. Like you lose
Well,
picks.
that I think the genius in it was the GM just going to everybody because like you could only protect so many players from the expansion
Yeah.
draft.
Yeah.
So the genius in that was it's not enough for most teams. So they're like, hey, you give us a second round pick and we won't draft this guy. So the first year they just had 1,000 draft picks. And
Yeah.
then the people that you are drafting, like there's no studs in
They're
there,
still
but there's
good.
also no,
I
like
mean, Pacioretty's
everybody is
good.
elite.
Like,
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it goes for Seattle if
McCracken,
they try and correct it all, like to maybe not make them so good the
like a
first year.
powerhouse.
Well, I think a lot of teams are now smarter, so to where they're not going to be giving up all these draft picks to not draft their guys.
Yeah.
But I think they'll still be in a really good spot.
Yeah.
And Seattle's a great place for a hockey team because it's a hipster sport.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say there's a lot of hipsters in Seattle, and hockey. Everybody's like, "Hey, like my sport," and then somebody tries to like your sport, and it's like, "Oh no, you haven't liked it for as long as I've liked it, so fuck you."
I mean,
So
I
that's
liked it
like,
before it was popular, so
yeah.
no big deal.
They gotta hope that they get a Stanley Cup winning goalie. One of the teams put that out there for them because I think a lot of Las Vegas' success that year was a lot, especially during the regular season, was a lot of
Fleury
it
wanted to
played
come
by
over.
Fleury, and they need to find somebody like that just as a stable ground. And then, yeah, I mean, they give them credit. I mean, they found the best talent possible out of all those rosters, and Seattle's.
Maybe Tuca. Maybe Boston offers up Tuca.
Well, did you see what he did this week? Which is kind of wild. He just kind of left. He was
He
making.
just jetted.
He just kind of made comments in the beginning where it's like, yeah, this really doesn't feel like playoff hockey. It's not the same thing. It's like, well, tough shit. You're getting paid to do this. Like, I don't care what it feels like. This is the playoffs. So play like you're in the playoffs. And then he obviously wasn't in the groove of things. I don't expect. I'm not surprised that he didn't, take him out earlier. But I mean, it makes sense. He wasn't really interested. It showed. So
So the reason that he ultimately left was for like a personal or family matter. He didn't fully close the door on him coming back at some point.
oh well, now I feel like a jerk off, Nick. Why did you do that?
But sorry, I told you what happened. But Boston, for some reason they always just compare him to Tim Thomas,
Yeah.
and everybody in Boston hates him, even though he's a very good goalie.
Did he win the cup with
Um,
them? Was that his year or is
Yeah.
that Tim Thomas still?
No, he won
11.
it with them. Well, they won it after that, I
They were
think.
both on the same team, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he was full reign.
No, he didn't win.
Tim Thomas was still
So,
there.
I mean, the thing with Tuca is like he plays really well, and then he'll have like a bad game, and then everybody gets on him. So
Very Boston.
I mean, he's not doing himself any favors by making those comments like it doesn't feel like a playoff atmosphere because there's no fans. Like you got to just not you got to not say that. Like just shut up.
Just take your medicine. Just be, you're not playing well right now. You're not into it. Maybe this thing did weigh him down mentally. Who knows? But just saying that comment makes it feels like that you're just kind of mentally checked out for other reasons outside of just kind of personal life. You're just not into it. So you don't. I don't want to be a PR guy and making him sound like he's still an idiot who knows what's wrong or what's going on with his personal reason. I hope it's all the best, but still, those are just not comments you make ever. I don't think if you're a professional athlete like that, saying the playoffs are not the playoffs. 'Cause they are.
You know what? I'm gonna be on Rask's side. The playoffs are not the playoffs. The Blackhawks are out. This whole thing is a sham. It's bullshit.
This is
Yeah,
WikiLeaks.
he hasn't won one.
Oh, he
Oh,
was.
he
Well,
did. He won in 2011.
I thought he was
yeah, he
definitely
was
on
on
that
that. He was on
roster.
that team.
Yeah, he was on the 2011 team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Buster.
I mean, he wasn't the guy, and I think that's the thing. Is like he hasn't been the guy on a team that won a Stanley Cup, so they give him shit because they just compare him to that year. And I mean, Tim Thomas isn't even
He's good.
as good as Tim Thomas was in 2011. Like sometimes the goalie just gets hot, and you see that a lot. I mean, with the Blackhawks in 2010, Jonathan Quick on the Kings in 2014.
Jonathan Quick is so underrated. He's such a good goalie, though.
What?
Yeah, he's very good.
I mean, he's not
You don't think
underrated.
John?
That's a weird way of putting it. I think he's highly
I
rated.
think
with
he's
the
underrated.
Lesbian.
When you think of the top, okay, rattle off the top 3 goalies in hockey right now.
Right now,
Well, when's the last time he played at that high of a level? I think it's been a couple of years.
Did they win in 14?
Yeah, that was 6 years ago.
He's still probably good.
I was gonna check. Is Tim Thomas still playing? You said that Thomas is
No.
not the same.
Oh,
Fuck
Tim
no.
Thomas
You
was like
said
80 when they won it in 2011.
I know. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's why I was so
So my
confused.
point was like
Like when
Tim
you
Thomas,
said it.
I mean, he's a good goalie, but he was just playing out of his mind that year.
Yeah. I mean, again,
They had a good team.
yeah.
They still
Yeah.
have a good team.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm gonna pick like the best goalies right now, number one,
Lerner.
It's
well,
Carey
Lerner's got to be
Price.
in the top 3. What about like
It's Carey Price and
Vasilevsky?
Carter Hart. Carter Hart's playing out of his mind right now, and he's a young
So is
guy.
Carey. Well, Carey Price is doing as much as he possibly can right now. He's still like good, but
I mean, he won him the first round by himself.
He's always good. That guy is amazing.
yeah,
that's the best goalie in hockey, easily.
That's a guy right there that is incredible. That could be like
That is
your
a
best
guy.
goalie. Ben Bishop's okay.
It's hurt a lot.
Bobrovsky,
Yeah, I'm not taking Ben
if the
Bishop.
Panthers were good, Bobrovsky would be up there, but I don't think he's that fantastic. But I don't
This
know.
reminds me of something that you said, Steve, that I think is highly controversial, and I definitely don't agree with. I think you tweeted this, and you said that Mike Tirico is better than Doc Emrick.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
When it comes to just to hockey,
I think he's good at hockey. I think he's a little better than Doc. Doc's getting right now at this point. No, I'm saying right now. Doc had his time. I'm gonna do the classic meme, Lisa Simpson pointing at the monitor screen, and just give you both a realization. You like Doc Emrick because it recollects to your favorite memories as a Blackhawks fan because his calls are so many of them. I don't think that he's that.
yeah, he's just good at calling hockey
I think
games.
that Tirico's great too. I think that Tirico could call a big time hockey game just as well as Doc Emrick. Just to the fact that he has kind of the voice for it. He's good at just many sports in general, and I just think he's a pro's pro. I usually like his calls, and when he does hockey, he just seems so natural at it. It seems like he's been doing it for his whole career, and I like an announcer that can just shift and form like that so quickly. So he does well when he's with Eddie, and when he's doing the main calls, I think he sounds fine. You're not going to argue with me on this.
So you're saying this guy does well and he sounds fine, and that's why you're gonna put him over Doc? You're insane. You're
I'm
a crazy
not putting
person.
him over Doc. I'm saying that he's better than him right now.
Wait, you're saying he's not better than him, but I think he's better than him. So everything you're saying is contradictory. You got to figure it out. Either he's better or he's
not better than Doc all time. But right now, his game's up there, and I like his commitment to the hockey bubble right now. That's another positive.
So you're saying that Doc Emrick has gotten worse the past few years?
He's older.
That's what happens. So time goes on. Eventually,
you know who else has gotten worse? You guys are gonna hate me. Pat Foley. He's gotten a lot worse too.
Oh my!
What's wrong with you?
He's old.
Who? What?
He's old.
You just want to take every old person and just throw them in the trash? You want to throw away all of our old listeners?
Yeah. You know who else stinks? Pawpaw. He stinks too, literally and figuratively.
Don't listen to him, Gam Gam. He doesn't mean it. He knows not what he says.
You know how big we are in nursing homes. That's our demographic.
God damn it.
58 and over.
True. They're
I'm
probably
going to put you on the Beef Roo shit list if you keep up this nonsense.
Oh, no. No.
Next, you're going to tell me Edzo's not the best color commentator in hockey.
No, he definitely is, and he's the best horse racing commentator or gambler for that matter.
He's a fun dude.
Yeah, I would love to get a party on with him.
I bet he'd be fun. Okay,
Hell yeah.
Tom Waddle would be fun.
Tom
I'm just
Waddle
thinking of
doesn't seem
because I
that
know
fun.
they're on Chicago radio. Waddle would be fun. Sylvie wouldn't be fun.
I don't think Waddle would be that fun. I'm sorry. I think he's
You don't think
kind of
so?
into himself.
I
Too
think
into
Waddle's the
himself.
kind of guy you hang out with, and he gets other people in trouble.
I'd like to hang out with Dan Jiggets.
Jigs.
Yeah, I think he'd
I
be
can't.
fun.
Who else in the national broadcasting thing would be fun to hang out with?
Chris Collinsworth. I feel like he might be
Oh
decent.
fuck! What's wrong with you? Everything you said has been awful for the last 10 minutes.
You wanna hang out with fucking Chris
I'll
Collinsworth?
tell you
Are you
what,
on drugs?
that man can throw the football. Let's go back and do a replay right here.
We drug test on this podcast. You're awful, dude.
Jesus Christ.
I
I'd
like-
hang out with Romo. I know you don't like him.
I tried to I kind of wanted to bring this up to maybe let you bail yourself out or redeem yourself. You dug the whole 40 feet deeper, and
you
then
doubled
You know what? I'm going to divert and say, you're the last person to be casting stones, Nick. You like Kevin Spacey movies. There's 6 of them in your top 10 of all time.
Oh,
So
you do.
you're
like
the
him.
last. You're the last person. At least Chris Collinsworth isn't a freaking weirdo.
Post your Netflix. My list. I bet it's a lot. It's a lot of Kevin Spacey up there.
there was one movie in the top 10, and I replaced it with No
Usual
Country for Old Men.
Suspects. You got that. You got Baby Driver. Got. They're all on there.
So wait, the baby's not the driver, right? That's when I walked in the movie.
No.
left
It's
out.
so there's a car seat in the driver's seat, it's a baby, and he's good at driving. That's why they made a movie about it, because it was so profound, and they were so shocked that a baby could drive that well.
I do like your diversion tactics of you saying awful things and making Nick out to be the bad guy. I gotta say, I give you props on it.
Thank you very much.
That's a move I can appreciate.
Yeah, you gotta get the stones off me. You gotta throw them on him. He's way worse in my opinion with the things he likes. I want to get a drink with a humble guy. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that,
So you want to
Nick?
get drinks with Kevin Spacey?
No, far
Well,
from it.
What about your take that the number one person you'd go get a beer with was Hitler?
What? I didn't say that. That's not even on. There's no receipts for it.
Would you rather kill baby Hitler or get a beer with adult Hitler? Gun to your head. You have to do one.
I'm killing baby Hitler. What is he gonna go through genocide, and then you're trying to talk him down already halfway through genocide
So
with the beer?
You're saying officially on this podcast that you would kill babies.
If it was a dictator that killed a race of human beings, then yes, call me the baby killer.
How are you gonna do it?
One thing that I had,
DeLorean.
everybody that says they want to go back to the past would kill baby Hitler. Why does it have to be baby Hitler? Why can't it be I don't know, teenage Hitler?
Because the assumption is that he hasn't caused the genocide yet. The assumption
Well,
is...
yeah, but there was a lot of time between when he was born to when he caused the genocide. You could kill 20-year-old Hitler.
You got really excited about killing a baby.
We'll kill a baby Hitler, and then we'll go after Stalin next. All right? Is that what you want? I mean, what are we doing here?
Listen, Stalin, bad guy, great head of hair. I will say that. The man was a looker. I mean, he's a piece of shit, but yeah, that's a good-looking guy.
So many hot takes today. So many hot takes.
You're on some weird Reddits, hot dictators. Nick's commenting on the Reddit, the subreddit. It's
you've never seen that picture on Twitter? Every now and then, the picture of Stalin will go around where he's got a fashionable scarf on and he's got the hair going.
Boy, be styling on us today, on us peasants. Boy, be styling today.
They're like, oh shit, Joey did it. God damn.
That boy fresh.
This show's getting wild.
Yeah, this is definitely the hot take episode.
Yeah. We should just call this show #canceled. Then people know what they're listening to.
Well, we started off with you liking Tirico better than Doc.
And I get a drink with Chris Collinsworth. No, all right, fine. I'll get a drink with booger. I know you'd hate that.
That'd be fun. I would do
No.
that. That'd be fun.
How can he pick up glasses? His fingers don't go the same way. He needs straws every time.
He's like the poor man's NFL's Charles Barkley.
Steve, there's this Bud Light. That means that there's less carbs than a regular Budweiser in this beer. Do you understand what I mean?
I mean, whatever you say has to be wrong, and then you just have to talk about it for a long time. That's who you want to get a beer with?
Yeah. Well, that rest in peace to his career in Monday Night Football, because that's gone now.
Thank God.
No, oh my God, Devin, you act like somebody's like, what do you want? What's a perfect? Who's your favorite? I don't even think you've told us.
I don't know. I didn't like listening to Gruden. He was really bad on there.
I don't got
It's
any hopes for
annoying.
this group.
Tirico was good on there.
I know he's good. He had a bad twosome with Kornheiser and frickin' Jaws. Those are such a bad other group of color and whatever Kornheiser was there for. Theoretic might
I'm
be
surprised
good.
Kornheiser was awake.
He's
Yeah.
like, this is too.
Well,
this
he
game's
filmed all
too
his stuff
long.
before then. He was pre-recorded for all those games.
Could you imagine?
Sounds like a
That's a lot of
fucking
fixing in
Madden
post.
soundtrack. It sounds like they just got the same 4 or 5 quips that he puts out there just every time.
It's just a soundboard.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
hitting Kornheiser buttons.
That's the way to do it.
I think that works. Speaking of football, I saw this on
Bubble for the playoffs?
No, I saw this and it gives me hope, which makes me very scared.
I'm going to stop you right there.
And it was
say don't take on that hope when it comes to football.
It was Cordero Patterson talking about Mitchell Trubisky. You may have seen this.
Here we go.
He said he looks like a whole new player this year. I can see it in his eyes. He has that fire in him. And that is exactly what I don't need, and that's hope.
Well, I heard the opposite. I heard that Foles is starting to take over.
Who said that?
I didn't. It was clickbait. It was
Mad
Bears
Maggie.
receiver.
Mad Maggie subreddit. He's like, my guy Nick, he's taking over.
Bears receiver saying Nick Foles is starting to take over a practice.
Yeah, everyone's back in Mitch right now. It looks like it's Cordero. Allen Robinson did earlier. I don't think they want this type of competition for Mitch. And I don't know. People I think like obviously Foles. Like he's not like a terrible guy in the clubhouse. Like he's not like annoying. You know, it's
apparently
like,
everybody loves him.
Yeah.
Everything that I've heard from other teams, they love Nick Foles as a guy.
I think some of these wide receivers feel like they disappoint Mitch if they don't do well with under him because this guy is I'll give him some slack. I mean, he's had a really rough start of his career. A lot of people just really judging him for nothing that he's really done outside of just kind of perform to only really his best ability. And it just sucks that he gets shit on so much because a guy that was in his draft class looks like a future Hall of Famer after his 3rd year in the NFL. And it's just tough. He has a real rough road, and it's all because the people more so making fun of an organization that would draft this guy. So I think that he just needs confidence. So if he just can have a swagger and confidence he had 2 years ago, who knows? Maybe he gets better. Who knows?
I think he likes. I mean, some people just do better with competition. It holds them more accountable, and they got to raise their level of play. Hopefully, Mitch is that guy because that's what's going on right now. Everybody's saying the right thing, but this is a classic. I get super pumped up by reading these quotes, and then they go out there and go 7-9.
Yeah, it's easy.
Okay, so we should do it right now on the podcast. What week do you think Nick Foles is going to start?
Well, let me throw a qualifier. Do you think it's going to be because of quality of play, or do you think it's going to be because of injury?
I'm never going to wish an injury.
I'm not going to speculate on the injury.
I'm not wishing an injury. I'm saying,
no, I know, I know you're not. But I'm not going to guess it's from an injury. I'm going to say because they start off, they go Lions, Falcons, Bucks, Rams, Titans, Packers.
That's a pretty easy start of the schedule, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just going to say I don't hate that first 6.
The beginning of their schedule is a lot easier than the back half, So I think if you don't get off to a fast start, you got to pull them quick.
See, this is the negative energies that he doesn't need to be hearing. Like you don't talk like this so negatively. You already if you were a head coach and you felt this way already, like you shouldn't even start him. You might as well just start
If
Foles
you don't
week
start
1.
out like 3-2, if you don't start out 3-2 and you don't beat the Packers, I think that he starts week 7.
I mean, I could see that because like that schedule sounds so easy that something has to go terribly wrong for you to not go 3-2.
Because if Foles starts week 7, then he gets the Texans, the Jags, the Giants, the Colts,
All I'm saying, he
the Panthers.
needs to start running more. That's the main key to
God,
success.
they got an easy schedule this year. Actually, this is a really easy
Yeah, they need
schedule.
to start using his legs again. He cannot be afraid, and Nagy cannot make this dude into a passing quarterback. I feel like we've brought this up like 3 times in the podcast, but it's so true. Like he needs to be the best he is, and that's with his feet and his arm. Those guys get open because he runs it. And if Nagy can't accept that's the style of offense his quarterback's good at, then like maybe he's a problem. I don't know, man. Like
Yeah, but like the difference is like Lamar Jackson's an amazing quarterback. He runs a lot, yeah, but he can also throw the football.
yeah, but we don't need to set the bar at Lamar Jackson. Like we don't need to go there. He was
It'd
fine.
be cool though if he
Eh,
was.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's
but
what
wouldn't it be better if he
I guess
was?
that's a whole disappointing thing in itself. Like I should be setting the bar for that, but he was fine, a upper mid tier quarterback 2 years ago because he ran more. He was like in the top 15 quarterbacks, I would say, in 2018 because of his feet. And he still wasn't as accurate. But you know what? When some guys are as wide open as they are, when he was running, because they got to have somebody on spy, he doesn't need to be as accurate. He just needs to get it somewhere in an area. And they got fast receivers for that type of shit. So I don't know. It pisses me off. They got to
I
run more
think
with him.
Lions, Giants, Falcons, Colts, Bucks is your first 5. I mean, I could see that going 4-1.
Who knows what Tom Brady's going to bring to the table?
The only good teams they
That would be the
play are
one.
in their division, the Saints and possibly the Bucks. Everybody else should be awful this year.
Yeah, I
Giants should
mean
still be bad.
the Colts is going to be a maybe.
Colts are
Phil
good.
Rivers.
Uh,
Yeah.
Phil
the
Rivers is
Rams are going to
whatever.
be a maybe. I could see the Rams being 10-6. I could also see them being 5-11.
I can easily see
I
them
wish
being
we
the
played
Saints
them
are
in
going to be
Chicago
tough.
in the winter.
I can
That's always better.
Yeah.
I can easily see the Rams being the worst team in that division.
I think this will be a really boring game, but I think it'll be a very competitive game. Would be Bears Titans.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem too. I want to see what their run defense. That front seven against Mark Henry. Mark Henry.
Well, give him the ball. You couldn't tackle him. There's no way you tackle Mark Henry.
Somebody, he gets the ball. It's just his theme music. Somebody go get an ass kicked. But
I
Derrick
saw the
Henry,
video of Derrick Henry's 99-yard touchdown run. That was disgusting.
he's absurd. Just like
That's a big, fast human being.
he's the best.
He's not a real person.
He's the
Like you
best.
I
shouldn't
don't
be
think so.
that big and strong, but also that fast.
He's extra
I mean,
large
it's weird what
AB.
comes out of the back of his helmet, but other than that,
He's scary, man. I'm scared of him more than the Bucks. I don't know why. I don't like a dominant runner like that. They
I don't
usually
think Brady's going to be good this year. I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna hot take right
no.
now. I don't think Brady's going to be good.
Don't put that
I
voodoo
think
shit on there.
Arians has a good system. I mean, the
He
system
does
is kind of in play for somebody that throws the ball downfield, which hasn't really been
a
Tom for
lot.
the past 4 or
Yeah,
5 years.
I mean, Jameis
Um,
got 30 touchdowns last year.
yeah, he also threw 30 picks. I
You know,
mean,
that's
yeah.
not his. You know what? That's not Bruce Arians' fault. You know what I'm saying? He's finding his
That's at
delusion
least
in
60
Brady. At
passes.
least he's trying to find
okay,
his
but like
delusion.
if you say only half of the interceptions are his fault, that's still 15 interceptions.
Bruce Arians isn't throwing the ball. Okay, so none of the interceptions are his fault.
Yeah, but if you're a 40-year-old plus quarterback, you need to have a good run game and maybe throw the ball a couple of times. You're not going to throw the ball 70-80% of the
Well,
game and be
that's what
good.
they're gonna hope for him to do. I mean, they got so many weapons. They're gonna hope for him to throw that many times.
I mean, their weapons are good.
Yeah, he's better throw a lot. because that's what he's there for. I'm telling you, it's going to be like a Peyton Manning Broncos situation, and then he's going to have Duck
Dude,
Arm
this
the
is
third year.
dangerous. This is dangerous. I got to between like the quotes I'm reading and looking at the schedule. Now I'm starting to believe that we could go 11-5, a little 12-4 action, and that's not a good place for me to be. I'm not used to that as a Bears fan the past 10
Well,
years.
you know what? Get used to it because our defense is fine. Mitch is back. Fuck Nick Foles. No, I'm kidding. I love Nick. Can't even hate him. He's a Bear now.
Bear
He's a
for
Bears
life.
quarterback. You can always hate a Bears quarterback. That's like what we do.
No, yeah. Give him a couple of weeks, then I'll hate him or love him. But Mitch, you get one more year, at least 8 more games. That's what I'm saying. You get a half a year to show what your worth is, and then you go on from there.
I need him to be good. I just want them to be good, and I need them to be good.
Be fucking good.
Thank you. And on that note, we're going to wrap up the show, folks. It's been real. A lot of hot takes. Hot take episode. Follow us on Twitter for more hot takes. Jumbo Podcast. Instagram, Jumbo Podcast. Check us out on YouTube. We're going to do the wrap-up video right after this and then post that to YouTube. Should be tomorrow. So just search Relatively Jumbo Podcast. Subscribe. Tell your friends. Message us on those platforms with the name of those people, and we'll shout them out and or roast them. Folks,
Probably
guys,
roast him.
fellas, probably roast them.
Roast them.
Yeah, we're gonna roast him.
Final thoughts?
I think the Avs are bringing home Lord Stanley's hardware this year. Go Avs.
I have a mom tip for everybody to end the show. If you are
Hashtag mom tip.
hashtag mom tip, I haven't done one in a while. If you wet a paper towel and you put it under a cutting board, the cutting board will not slip on the table while you're holding your stuff in place. That's a mom tip for the day.
See ya.